School's in, so you know what that means. It is time for the report cards for all the signs. So, did you get an A for effort or did you flunk out? So let's start with our deep feeling, emotional water signs. Cancer, no one can deny that you are top notch with your reliability and loyalty. And your overthinking leaves nothing to the imagination. Just about no one else has you topped. And you're giving it your best effort with holding grudges, but there is some work still to do. And making the first move and cutting people off, you definitely have a lot of work to do. Scorpio, you definitely have a strong skill at reading people, and your sarcastic nature is top notch. And introverted is your middle name. And all the other signs are in awe of your skill of plotting revenge. However, Scorpio, there is definitely some work to be done on opening up to others and forgiving and forgetting. Those are not your strong suit. Pisces, you definitely go to another world with your daydreaming skills. It's so good that the other signs can't even find you sometimes. You also get an A+ in taking things personally and mood swings. However, Pisces, the other signs want you to know that it is okay and probably would benefit them if you would get a lower score in those things. And Pisces, there's definitely a need for improvement in dealing with problems and moving on. Okay, so let's see how our head in the cloud air signs are doing. Gemini, you are a master at trying to prove people wrong. And your flirting style is with grandma in her coffin and a groom on his wedding day. And it doesn't matter who, when, what, or what species. You love talking so much, Gemini, that you even talk to yourself. But hey, you do have a twin, so. Two things you do flunk at, Gemini, though, is staying focused and keeping secrets. You're one of the biggest gossips in the whole zodiac. If anybody wants to know the tea, all they gotta do is hook up with their Gemini friend. Libra, don't get me wrong, sometimes you can lay it on thick. But most of the time you're doing the underhanded, throwing the dirt and shade in a passive-aggressive way. The sign of Libra is the king and queen of passive-aggressiveness, with those little zingers under the radar, or at least trying to be under the radar. You're also excellent at overdressing and online shopping. Libras get a B+ for standing up for others, but they aren't so good and lack skills of picking sides and confrontation, and that might be part of that passive-aggressiveness. Aquarius, your imagination is out of this world, and when you anchor yourself and stay focused, your creativity is on fire. You tend to keep people on their toes and confused with your ability to send mixed signals. And often you can be very intimidating. However, Aquarius, there is need for improvement with you opening up emotionally and replying back to text. So let's get our flame-throwing adventurers, the fire signs. Aries, you fall in love faster than a prairie fire with a tailwind. You also can get so angry that you will cry. Not that you want to, because you don't like to show weakness, but you still get that angry. And Aries, no matter what's going on, you have a blind optimism always, and that gives you an A+. You also have a good sense of humor unless someone pushes it too far. But you do need to work on that impulse control and those thinking things through before you're acting. For those two things, you get an F. Leo, you don't leave anyone guessing with your brutal honesty. And you do have a tendency to make impulsive decisions and being loud as F. You definitely let people know of your presence. You do have a tendency to hide your feelings, Leo. Apologizing even when it's not necessary and giving second chances with that big heart of yours. Because of people knowing this, you might have a tendency to have people taking advantage of you. So that's something that you need to work on. Sagittarius, you get an A+ being extra and dramatic and also taking jokes a bit too far. And you're an expert on moving on quickly, as well as have a tendency to break the rules. Things to improve on is taking things too seriously and depending on others. And now for our grounded, stick in the mud earth signs. Taurus, you are a rock for others and very supportive of them. And for helping others, you get an A+. You love spending money, and with your good fashion sense, it's probably on clothes, shoes, and jewelry. That is when you leave the house, because you have an F in leaving the house. You like to stay home. And you also receive an F on changing your mind. Some of you are probably on a first name basis with customer service for returning all the items that you changed your mind about. Virgo, although you are very good at complaining and judging others, you still give good advice and may have other people coming to you for that. You also have the quality of assuming the worst, Virgo. And you definitely need to work on asking for help and being a little more vulnerable. Capricorn, you're very independent and you like to put your best foot forward, which makes you attractive as F. However, you do have a tendency to excessively worry, and some people might not get your dark sense of humor, depending on the time and the place. Opening up by talking about your feelings and letting people in might make you go a little further, Capricorn.